here on the today's Tax Talk. It is Adoption Day in El Salvador. We're going to talk a little bit about that. If we have a minute, we're going to talk about NFTs, what they are and how they, what's the craze about. So we hope we can get to all that. And I hope you're here to join us. So here we go. Okay, so thanks so much for joining us. It is Crypto Tuesday, where we talk about crypto, all things crypto. Are NFTs crypto? I think they are because they're blockchain associated. So that's why I tied it to Crypto Tuesday. Again, lots of news because it is the big day, which is Adoption Day in El Salvador. El Salvador today became the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as a currency, legal tender in El Salvador. They also accept the U.S. dollar, so that's they have two currencies that they use. Now let's go to the first story, and we'll see what I'm talking about here. So here's the first story. El Salvador's Bitcoin Adoption Day turned into a crash course in crypto volatility. Well, that's always the big story with crypto is the volatility of its ups and downs. It crashed a couple of weeks ago. It was making a big, strong comeback, and then I thought many thought today would be the day that saw a strong surge in the value of crypto, but it actually took a dive. And so let's read the story. El Salvador became the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender today, September 7th, 2021. B-Day, as locals have dubbed it, ushers in a new era in which residents of the country can buy breakfast or pay their taxes in Bitcoin. All businesses and banks must now accept Bitcoin in addition to the U.S. dollar, the country's other legal currency. The long-term implications of this audacious experiment remain to be seen, but critics say he is putting the country's finances, his young president putting the country's finances in jeopardy. It is a big gamble. It's never been done before. Could it work? It certainly could work, and it could really help El Salvador's economy, or it could dive. And that's obviously that's the danger, and nothing's ever for sure. But I give them an A+ for effort. Today's debut made that crystal clear. Bitcoin's price dropped by an unexpected 17% in mid-morning, wiping out 400 billion in minutes. Although the price had hovered around and just above 50,000 over the weekend, it dropped to less than 43,000 at one point before rebounding to 46.7. I was looking at the feed here in my feed. I think it had dropped again. As of this morning, crypto-curious residents of the small Central American country were able to sign up for a government-issued Chivo. Cool. That's the wallet, the app, the government app. Chivo, or Chivo. I'm sorry, Chivo. I'm told there is no I in Spanish words. Chivo wallet seeded with $30 worth of Bitcoin. So the government gave $30 of Bitcoin to anybody who got the Chivo app. The government briefly took out the wallets offline, however, while they scaled up their servers. Like even our own government, when we did the anything we do online, there's always a problem. With trying to go online. It's a experiment, and bad things can happen, and they often do. But you have to work through that. First, you have to get it up to see how it's going to work before you can make it work right. That could have explained part of the sell-off. Others pinned the blame on an unproven global conspiracy to derail Bitcoin's future. But Bloomberg intelligence commodity analyst Michael who is generally bullish on Bitcoin, said that the price fluctuations merely reflected a wringing out of speculative investors. He expects crypto prices to go back up to slowly appreciating with occasional nuances like today's short-lived plunge. Over the weekend, several Bitcoin influencers on social media sites planned a global price pump akin to the coordinated meme stock rallies that sent GameStop and AMC shares soaring. In this case, Bitcoiners urged retail investors and crypto enthusiasts around the world to buy the equivalent of $30 in Bitcoin as a B-Day present to El Salvador and themselves. One group of 3 million strong Redditors in Brazil were supposedly prepared to join the effort. According to a few pet messages, the coordinated buying was set to begin at the same time around the world. It's B-Day in El Salvador. However, whether or not the $30 purchases happened en masse was not obvious by today's price action. In any case, if Bitcoin's price had soared, the artificially inflated rate would not have been sustained. Probably true. An untested precedent. Economists and IMF have cautioned that the nation's longer-term macroeconomic stability is on the line for numerous reasons. Adopting Bitcoin complicates the indebted country's debt negotiations, for example, and could make its banks attractive to criminals looking to launder illegal gains. Without understanding the unregulated crypto market, everyday citizens who jump into the Bitcoin expecting it to gain value against other currencies could be in for a rude or even tragic awakening. With Bitcoin, there are no guarantees that what you own today won't be worth half as much tomorrow or double, right? It goes both ways. It has soared in many instances. So you never know. That's the volatility. It doesn't only go down, it can go up. El Salvador bought 400 Bitcoin ahead of Chivo's official launch day. When the price crashed this morning, Burkle, the president, in a show of confidence, recklessness, willful thinking, or some combination of all the above, decided to buy an extra 150. Buy on the dip. And that's what they did. He thanked the IMF for affording him the opportunity to save $1 million in paper money in that impromptu shopping spree. His presidency will be defined by how well his Bitcoin plan pays off. Many fear the 40-year-old who favors leather jackets and comes to politics following a career in business appears to be the most interested in appealing to moneyed foreign Bitcoin entrepreneurs. 2 years into his tenure as the nation's leader, his political opponents now question his commitment to governing with transparency and protecting democracy. I don't want to get off on the politics of El Salvador. To critics, however, the president appears to be essentially lining up the roulette table with El Salvador's capital and fate in his hand, responding to the president's gleeful message about buying the dip. The policy. El Salvador is a country in debt distress that will need multilateral support to stabilize its finances. Hard to justify that support when the government is busy gambling away public resources. I don't know if that's it is a gamble, as we mentioned. It's always a gamble, but they do have a lot of interest in making sure that the price doesn't collapse. And our own government, when prices start collapsing, the dollar starts falling, they buy, right? Why do they buy? To stabilize the price. Peter Schiff, the libertarian investor and longtime critic of digital currencies, also chimed in with a sarcastic message to El Salvador and Bitcoin supporters during the mini crash. Your national currency just lost 50% of its purchasing power. But Bitcoin advocates outside El Salvador naturally express enthusiasm for the president. Sassy retorts to established public figures in the financial world tend to play well among cryptocurrency holders. Well, Bitcoin's appraisal within El Salvador appears to be just as mixed. In time for today's launch, Al Jazeera English reporter traveled to El Zante, I believe, a surfing town in El Salvador that has been using Bitcoin since 2018. We met plenty of people who are fans of cryptocurrency as the way to put aside a bit of money. 70% of Salvadorians don't have bank accounts, and this is a way that they can save a bit up and hopefully watch the pile grow as Bitcoin value increases, he said in a Twitter thread. However, many locals also described the frustrations they've experienced with wild swings in valuations. Today, the government is facing protests by worried pensioners, among others. One appliance and furniture store maker told the Wall Street Journal that he sees Bitcoin as a smart diversification strategy for the country. My mother believes that Bitcoin is a thing of the devil, he said, but Bitcoin has a lot of advantages. Many mothers believe that. And then the last line, the other social media pundits who claim to have received their tiny slice of Bitcoin through Chivo app or ETMs are expressing their gratitude. Because, they gave away $30 with anyone to help boost it. Another story in Forbes, Bitcoin prices still drive headlines, but El Salvador is just the beginning. I think it's interesting to... I don't want to go through this story. It says very much the same stuff. There's not going on a debate around the conversation about the center, about the impact following several hiccups, and there was a problem. Volatility will increase. So much the same debate there. And so it's interesting, though, to see how it works. I think somebody had to do it. One country was going to do it. It might, yes, El Salvador is not the most stable. It has problems, financial, debt problems. But what country doesn't? Who's going to take the first plunge? How are we going to find out if it's going to work? Someone's got to try. And so I give them credit for doing that, for trying and trying to make it work for this, and we'll see what happens. As I mentioned, El Salvador is trying to become a haven for crypto mining. They want to do crypto mining with other than coal electricity generated, and that's so they are trumpeting their green energy in order to convert or mine crypto in a green manner. A lot of people are against it. The use of the electricity. Some say that they use more electricity than Bitcoin alone. Use more electricity than many countries use in a year. I think it was Argentina, and so many people are thinking that they're burning oil in order to produce the crypto or to make it the value, and so that's the argument. I think Elon Musk came out and argued that also. So just give me a moment here, and because I want to talk about, I want to mention, first let me put the El Salvador flag up, because this was the big story of the day, right? It is Adoption Day. I've been, I remember when I learned of El Salvador taking it was just a matter of a couple of months ago. And so it did roll out fairly quickly. There's high hopes and many warning signs. So we'll keep an eye on it. Here on Crypto Tuesday, we'll always keep you posted on what's going on there. Now, I think I have a couple minutes. I don't know if we have enough time to do the NFT. Well, I'm going to save the NFTs because it's a good story. I think many people don't understand what NFTs are, and by not understanding, kind of let it go, kind of like crypto, right? A lot of people didn't understand cryptocurrency and kind of went under the radar, and many people missed out on a big opportunity because they didn't understand it. I don't know if NFTs are going to be, now NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. They're digital assets. And they are all the craze, going on now. Buying and selling. The NFL has come up with a position on it. Many in the NBA and other professional sports are actively engaging in NFT sales and promotions from other companies. I think many of the trading cards are getting into NFTs, in that you're selling them, and the values are eye-popping for what they are. And, so it's something that you should probably understand. And if you don't understand it, so how much time we have? I'm at 15 minutes. Let me do it. Let's do it quickly. we'll do the story quickly because I think it's that important that we should understand what that is. I got the wrong token up, but let's find out. Okay, what is an NFT? Everything you need to know about expensive digital tokens taking over cryptocurrency. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, are a new kind of collectible that could or could not earn you big bucks. NFTs began in 2017 and became the new craze faster than any other cryptocurrency you may have heard of. But you can't keep NFTs in your dresser drawer like Pokemon cards, a comic book, or paintings. They're entirely digital and are tied to almost anything: a video highlight, a meme, and even a tweet. I understand the first tweet, I think it's in the story, Twitter sold the first tweet for some millions of dollars. If this doesn't make much sense to you, well, you're not alone. In short, NFTs offer a blockchain-created certificate of authenticity. And that's really the driving force here, right? It's that you know that it's authentic because the blockchain can't be manipulated. And so you know exactly who owns it. And when it transfers, you know exactly when it transfers and who the transferee is and who the transferer is. And it's so you could keep an eye on, there can't be any phonies or frauds. And so that's really the driving force behind this NFT the blockchain technology. In short, certificate of authenticity for a digital asset or a piece of art. The interest has created a digital market that boosted $250 million in sales in 2020, with NFTs reaching new levels of hype from Visa, Warner Music Group, and Nike. The craze has also driven scores of people to put up their own digital art and tweets for sale as NFTs. Even toilet paper companies are in the latest cryptocurrency wave. Still confused? Here are the answers to your big questions about NFTs. What is an NFT? And I think this is where we'll complete this, and maybe we'll end it today, and we'll talk about it at another time. This is the part that takes a bit of open-mindedness. NFT is a unique digital token, with most using Ethereum blockchain to digitally record transactions. It's the smart contract. It's not a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin because those are fungible, exchangeable for another Bitcoin or cash. NFTs are recorded in digital ledger in the same way as cryptocurrency, so there's a listing of who owns each one. What makes an NFT unique is the digital asset tied to the token. This can be an image, video, tweet, or piece of music that's been uploaded to a marketplace, which creates the NFT to be sold. The technology started in 2015 when unique tokens were created for the Ethereum blockchain, but they became a big deal in February. And this is the part that's hard to understand. Does owning an NFT mean I own the asset? So if they sold an NFT of the Mona Lisa, would I own the Mona Lisa? And the answer is no. I don't own the Mona Lisa. I just own this digital representation of the Mona Lisa. That's the real kicker to understanding the whole concept. The person who buys the NFT doesn't own the actual asset. NFTs challenge the idea of ownership. Digital files can be reproduced infinitely, and you do not usually buy the copyright or license when purchasing an NFT. And that makes sense. For example, the creator of a neon cat meme sold an NFT of it for $590,000. I never even heard of it. $590,000. The person who bought the token owns the token, but doesn't actually own the meme. That still belongs to the creator, who held on to intellectual and creative rights. What the owner of the token has is a record and a hash code showing ownership of a unique token associated with a particular digital asset. People might download the cat and use it on social media if they want, but they won't own the token. This only means that they can't sell the token as the owners can. They're so expensive. So I'm not going to get into this today, but one more thing before we go on, and that's the NFL has prohibits teams from engaging in specific cryptocurrency and NFT ventures because they're trying to make sure that if there's going to be a market, that they own the market and the teams themselves do not. So if they're selling trading cards and things like that, the NFT trading cards, they want to own that market. and they don't want the teams to do it. So that's the gist of that. So anyway, thanks so much for joining us today. It is a big day in crypto. It came faster than I thought it was going to come, and not without its own problems. And we should have expected that there's going to be some issues. I think the volatility is the things that we live with, and that's what's going to happen. So again, thanks so much for joining us. I wanted to, again, we're going to talk about NFTs another time when we have a chance to spend a little bit more time on it and really explain what it is. I think just getting used to the idea of this digital non-fungible asset is, again, it's a stretch, and it takes a little getting used to, for me at least. So again, thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Good night.